I think we're broadcasting. Oh my gosh. Hi, you guys. Lisa Winston here. Sorry, we're running a little late. It's a new platform. I kind of messed it up. It's so much fun to be live. And are you seeing anything on Facebook, Robert? I'm
I
just going to make sure that we're.
it for you.
Let's check. Make sure we're broadcasting because I have no idea.
I will. Yes, we are.
Oh,
we are.
oh.
We are live right now.
Awesome. Look who is with me on this broadcast. Robert Clancy, I love and adore you. And I'm so excited that you decided to spend a little bit of time with us today to tell us what you're up to. It's good to see your face. I've missed you.
Well, thank you so much. It's always an honor to speak with you, and I love the energy, the light, the everything. It's great.
Thank you. And thank you for being patient and walking me through this new platform. I'm like, I couldn't find a button. I'm like, you guys, I'm like, Robert, I hope it goes. And I'm like, God, make it go. Cause like, I don't know how to do it. Sure enough, it went. Oh my gosh, you guys. So share this out. If there are people that are, not here that you want to have here, make sure that you share this out because it will be on the Facebook page. I met Robert a couple of years ago through Liberty Forest, mutual friend of ours. And I fell in love with him immediately. He was on a summit of mine. And he's doing really big things in the world. And he's kind of on the fast track, which is really cool. I love this. And anyway, so I just wanted to be in touch with him again. And he just happens to have a new book out. And there's so much going on so you know what? Let me read a bio, Robert, because the people that don't know, even though I have it plastered all over my Facebook page, but I want to bring people up to speed. Like I want you to I have some questions to ask you, but I want you to give a little bit of background about who you are, what you do. And then I want to get into the book a little bit and then whatever else you want to give, because right now, as you know, people are stuck. They're scared. They're really struggling, with what's going on in the world. And your messages of love and hope and inspiration and all that good stuff. So this is your time. I bring it on. These people need to hear you. Yeah. All right, you guys, Robert Clancy is a creative visionary, #1 best-selling author, spiritual teacher, and co-founder of Spiral Design Studio, LLC. At the age of 19, Robert had a divine spiritual experience, I love this stuff, that altered his life in profound ways. In 2012, he created the Robert Clancy Guide to the Soul Facebook fan page, where he shares his divinely inspired thoughts, now followed by over 630,000 people worldwide. That's amazing. He is a sought after speaker, presenter, and guest. Robert is also a regular contributor and weekly guest on the Los Angeles KABC radio syndicated late night health radio show. His latest book, Soul Ciphers, Decoding a Life of Hope and Happiness, released October of 2017, quickly became a #1 international bestseller. And you guys, I put his page on there. You can go to his page and see the other books he's done, all the stuff he's done. He's an amazing being of love and light. It's just funny. I was sharing with Robert, how I'm a light worker. And it's like, how do you label that? Well, Robert's kind of doing that too, and he found a way, he listened to his inner calling. So Robert, my dear friend, maybe share a little bit about your story. Because when you first told me that, I was blown away, and people need to hear that, how you came to be doing all this. Yeah. And then a little bit about what you're doing, and then we'll get into the book after that. Okay.
Well, I'll share the shortened version of it. But yeah, you alluded to at age 19, I had the divine experience, but I've been reflecting on my life, and it's been since day one, even before I could speak. Yeah. But the big one, yes, at 19, but that was also when I hit the lowest point of my life. So I had my feet on rock bottom, and I found two things there. A, the bottom, but look up, there's also the way out.
Yeah.
Luckily, somebody saw that I was struggling because it was largely hidden, and I was checked out. I was doing things, that I shouldn't have been doing, getting in cars with people that were drunk and mixing prescription drugs and alcohol. I just didn't want to feel anything. Yeah. I lost many friends to suicide. I had car accidents for some friends, and I was lost. And this woman who was a waitress in the restaurant I worked in pulled me aside one night, gave me that 50-yard stare, and said, "I know what you're doing to yourself, and you need to stop." And she said, "Put your hand out," and like this. So I put my hand up. And she put a pamphlet in it, and it was how to meditate. She said, "This got me through some very difficult periods of my life too. And you need to go home and do this. And I don't want to see you in the bars tonight or anything." So me being the analytical, programmer, intellectual, read all the instructions. I actually got 100 on a logic exam, and one of the only people in the university to get 100 average in the logic class. That's how logical I am.
Wow.
Not necessarily a spiritual being of light.
Wow.
I was very much, show me the science behind it.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was what I kept a secret for 30 years, even from my parents, my family. I meditated, and all I can tell you is an angel actually manifested into the room where I was meditating. I was about 3 hours in, and I first saw a light. It looked like a star, and then it just unfolded like a butterfly. And she came through, and I was in this presence of this being. I could see it with my eyes open or closed, and I did experiment, with that, because I could see it with my mind's eye and my then I looked at the pamphlet again. And I'm like, didn't really mention this part, but I was just at total peace. And she touched me in the forehead after about maybe a half hour to 40 minutes. I mean, this wasn't just something that was there and gone. I spent time, if time is relative. I don't know how long, but because time and space are, they're still working on that one from Einstein. But she was there, and when she touched me with her index finger in the forehead, it was like I was plugged into heaven, and I've never been unplugged. And all these beautiful words come into me every day. It's, 2012 is when the floodgate opened, but I had little spurts of it over time. And I do remember the first quote that I received back in 1996. And it was an acronym for love. It was leadership, opportunity, volunteerism, and enthusiasm. And if you fill your heart with love, life will mend itself. But when you fill your soul with love, you'll be able to mend the hearts of others. And that was the first one that came in. And I just kept this a secret. I told my dad in 2012, the night that my mother was going to pass away. I knew she was going to pass at around 2:30 because that was given to me. And I wanted him to be at peace because they've been married for 64 years up to that point. And I couldn't imagine losing that kind of love in your life. And so, after telling him, I decided I can't take this to the grave. The rest of it is, I had the other book in the works. I've been on this path, and I just lived among everybody for the last 30 years in watching people and how we interact in even the simplest forms of kindness. And knowing, that's the other thing. I had to talk to myself in the mirror and say, at age 19, you're going to have to live the rest of your life knowing. And that's a burden and a blessing, because no one is ever going to definitively believe you, but you know what you saw, and you're going to have to carry that for your whole life. So that's my story. I became, just a business person. I just, did everything else. But we're part of this huge fabric of the universe, and everything is connected to love. And my path is to share that with the world, and how important every act of kindness is. Even a simple smile can change somebody's whole outlook. It can change your outlook when you share that smile with yourself. And I share it with myself in the morning because, I'm alone at that time when I do that. And I realize I never am. So I smile when I'm alone. I smile all the time. I've been smiling since that day. And I could only imagine if everybody had this experience, how life would change, how this planet would change. And I have to carry that. So, here's my heavy lift for the world. And, I need to bring this forward. I have to own my truth, and that is my truth.
Ooh, that's a big one. Oh, got feedback. Hold on. What was that about? How do I fix that, Robert?
Well, we're not hearing it on this end, so you're fine.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll turn my mic down. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
I have my mic kind of down. Yeah. God, I love that. Cause I never had that. It's not that I'm not smart. I am, but I've been more the flowy Pisces, the feeler, emotional, empath, sensitive, intuitive, that the whole deal is like, God, give me a brain, so I can actually run my business. But what I love is that you honored what you got, because, I've had various experiences too. I don't think I ever shared with you a picture I have of angel. It's a giant angel wing in my picture right in front of me. And I cry often when I look at a lot of the pictures I have, because a lot of people are like, oh, that's something else. I'm like, it's very clear what it is, you know? And I think that's part of the reason a lot of us in the business arena, the conscious business arena, we try to fit that mold of the world, what the world's telling us to be like, who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to fit in. But like I said to you, I was serious when I talked about the light worker thing. Like when you're that, right? Like that's what you were given, that gift, that, you know, you started getting quotes. I haven't had anything like that. So you had some specific things that you were given that are gifts. I mean, it was like you not connected. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Jeez.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
What the heck?
Yeah, it just got stuck. So
Okay, here we go.
pick up where you left off.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Well, we are in Mercury in retrograde. I've learned a little bit about
Yeah. Hi guys, we're back, I believe. Yeah, you know, I was just saying before, Robert and he didn't get the sound. I said every time I do something that's energetically highly charged, something technologically crazy goes wrong. So I expect it, right? You expect it,
I kept smiling. I was just sharing.
Oh my God. Let's make sure we're broadcasting. People are like, what's going on? You know, the good news is
we are broadcasting.
We are broadcasting.
Yes.
All right, we're back. Okay, cool. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's happening. You just said what, we're Mercury retrograde, really? Aren't we always in a Mercury retrograde?
I think that's the story of my life, because I am the tech person, so I get all of those questions.
Well, and you're highly energetically charged, so
yes.
Yeah, you just have this aura of things around you. Okay, it's all good. All right, so we're back. Sorry about that, you guys. This is the fun of live, though, right? It's fun. Okay, it's authentic. So, Robert, I want you to talk about your new book. I know you have a couple of other books out that are amazing, but I really would love people to know more about your new book because, like I said earlier, people are really struggling in life, personally, financially, with all kinds of things right now. I kind of feel this lull where people are afraid to do anything right now. You know, they're just sitting in a holding pattern. So I know that your book is incredibly inspirational and it's practical, right?
Yes.
So that people can actually implement what you give them. So it's like the best of spirit and, practicality. So go ahead and share a little bit about your new book.
Yeah. So the first book was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, and it's got inspirational stories, and this one does too. But what happened was I heard so many people say, I saw how you transcended forgiveness, or you did this. How do I do that? So this new book has all the decodes. And I started telling people over the last several years, they said, well, what do you do to stay happy? And your life's perfect. And I said, no, it's not. I have all the, the same problems that everyone else has. I have many, just serious things. Like my best friend passed away in January, and, that can be devastating. And I could see his legacy and what he did. So it's all of those pieces are in there. So I have these decodes at the end of each chapter, but the stories are now teachings. They're almost parables that walk you through somebody else's journey down that road. And I look at life this way, that we all have to blaze our own trail. It's not that you need to walk a path that's clear. Right. It's that you have to cut your way through that forest and find your own way. And this at least gives you how someone else did it, how someone else cut those trees down, made that path and cleared out and got back to the light and made it to the top of the mountain and saw the views. And it's all about perspective. Mm-hmm. So this book has these beautiful little decodes at the end that are just simple things. I may have one that's, I have one here. It's on reflect. So when you reflect, it's, what you see in the mirror is a simple reflection of what surrounds you. Mm-hmm. But what you see in the heart is the reflection of everything you are and everything that you were ever meant to be. So look within to see who you truly are, and then believe that, because inside is your light. And I always thought, growing up, you're taught, hey, we're human and we have this beautiful thing called a soul inside of us. And isn't that great? So you're a human and you got this soul, right? And I got a different perspective. We're souls surrounded in our humanity. We're souls first. Then we become human in that form. And what is the soul made out of? It's light, it's love, it's everything that's connected to all that beauty around us. And so when you can look within, you're looking at the light that you already are. And that's love. And that's what we bring forth to the world. And find out what's in here, in your heart. And you bring that out. Every act of kindness matters. And that's what this book is about. If I had a word to sum up this particular book, it's hope. And it's one of those beautiful words that only exists when you hold on to it. Yeah. If you let go of hope, you no longer have it. And if you hold hope, it's there for you forever. And it's like one of those, I see a triangle of those three words, faith, love, and hope. And in the center of that triangle is peace. And those three things come together and create the peace that we are. Because without those three, you really, that is your soul. We really aren't connected to anything. And that's connecting to source. So I put a circle around the triangle. The circle is a closed shape, but it's infinite. It has pi in it, 3.14 and infinity. And I look at all these beautiful, it's almost like I'm seeing the geometry of life in everything that it's like God's math is on everything for me now. So I see it and I take that circle, twist in the middle, you get an infinity symbol. And I just start seeing like the words come, from that, that love has no walls, thus it cannot be conquered. Love has no boundaries, thus it is always open. And love has no limits, thus it has no end. And I feel each of the words and all of the information that's behind anything. And I keep coming back to those three beautiful words and then peace in that center. And I really wanted to have people walk that journey. And in this book, I actually have stories from some other people, and I had to walk in their shoes. It's that Native American proverb that you can't judge someone else till you've walked a mile in moccasins. I have that hanging in my house. And I didn't want to only walk in their shoes. I wanted to feel their soul and what they learned on that journey and explore that and become whatever message they had to really feel and intuitively bring that forward. So that's really what this book is about. And it was almost 4 years of writing and having to think about it. So I'm elated now because I don't have to think about it.
And you got Marcy to do the forward. I mean, that's congratulations.
Yes, and the beautiful Marcy Shimoff, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul and Happy for No Reason. She's a featured teacher in The Secret, wrote the beautiful forward for this book. And I am so blessed and honored to be connected to these other enlightened people that are just spreading, positive messages in the world. And and you're one of them, Lisa. So that's why I'm here.
We're on this together. I'm still feeding back. I don't know what's going on. I give up. Mercury, have at it. Whatever. Yeah. You're really moving places. And I think it's that alignment thing. I want to ask you some questions about the book, but this is coming forward. And that is, a lot of people are going to look at you and say, well, he had this experience, when he was a kid and this changed his life and God did something to him special or whatever. But the whole thing is like what you're speaking is foundational truth, of who we are, who we be really. And then we got caught up in the illusion of who we're not, which is, like where we live 95% of the time, if not more. So can you speak into really encouraging people? Because I know, meditating, going within, being still, hearing your inner voice and all that it's a practice. It's life mastery is really practicing those things that we don't do. Generally, we fly by the seat of the pants, right? We try something and we're like, well, it's not working. I'm not hearing my inner voice or whatever, right? It takes commitment, discipline, dedication. But also, I want you to share how this can happen to anybody. It's not that we're different or we're special. Everybody's a soul. Everybody's got this capability, right? It's just that you said yes, and however that came up in your unique spin. If you can speak into that a little bit, because a lot of people are looking for someone to fix them or heal them, or, they're out here.
Yeah.
It can't happen to me.
I totally get it. And I had that experience and, I felt not worthy of this. Yes, that's a big one, isn't it? 30 years.
Yes.
That why me?
Yeah.
I woke up on December 1st, 2012. The words were, why ask why when you should ask why not? And that's really the key. It's that you set this GPS, just like your car, and that's your final destination. And that's love. That's where we're all going. It's part of life. We're all going to check out without our bags at some point.
It's true.
The key is to check out and leave your bags.
Amen to that. Gladly.
The car doesn't drive itself. You need to place things into action. We are here in manifestation. So you have to put your intentions and you have to get out there. Have you ever been stuck on the side of the road, broken down? Have you ever been in there? Why aren't you there today? How'd you get here? You had to take action or somebody had to help you or you had to ask for help.
Yes.
That's the key to life, is understanding that when you're struggling, it's that there are people who are there to help you. And it's not to be embarrassed by that. And it is just to realize that you're going to be part of that and that it's all in there and that you have the ability to, receive that help. And that's the other part. We're taught to give.
Right.
It's really hard to receive, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't you feel funny when somebody gives you a gift? Sometimes you don't even want to open it.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're already receiving the gift from grace, from God, from everything. And so receive that gift and it's just there. And you just have to be open to receive it. It's asking for that help, not only from people around you, but from up here. And I'm not overtly religious either.
Right. Well, me neither. I get that.
I brought to this point, I don't know. I just accept it and I move forward from there. And I can see, it's almost like my eyes are clear through my heart being clear. And I see the beauty of life and every little random act of kindness, every little thing matters out there. But in getting back to the GPS example, you've got to drive the car. You can't just sit there and expect, this wheelbarrow money to come in and save you today. you've got to go out and create that action. And logic would dictate that you do that. So there's my logic side. And then trust and faith is the other spiritual side. Bring those together and you are complete.
But I have a question for you. That's all exactly true, but I have a question because so many people are looking to do what they think they're supposed to do in the world, right? Again, we're going back into this label thing, and this is maybe, it's for everybody, but I'm thinking about conscious entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to take action and we need to get in the flow, but speak a little bit into, the uniqueness of each of us. And also there's timing involved. And there's growth that's involved, right? I mean, like for me, I've been going through talking about diamonds under pressure, like the last 5 years, like I'm stretched.
Well, I'll take that. See, I just start seeing words when you say that. And we're diamonds under pressure. And there's that old quote, that, only diamonds are created under pressure. So, you've heard that. But I also look at this. Even flawed diamonds shine when they're brought into the light. And they have many facets. And they're all unique and different. And that's how we are. Each of us are a masterwork from God's hands. And each of us are unique. And the unique thing is being like a superhero. When I think of all the superheroes in the world, in the comics and things like that, each of them have a unique ability. They just need to exploit it for the greater good of humanity. The cape and mask are optional, but a kind heart's essential. And one thing they all have in common is they never, ever, ever give up on hope.
Right.
They lead through that. So being that diamond and shining in your beauty. And there are people who will find flaws with even the most beautiful diamond or the most beautiful piece of artwork on this planet.
Yeah.
So when somebody finds fault with you, realize you're one of God's masterworks and he doesn't make mistakes. So believe in that.
That's true.
Believe in that beauty. And we never see the great picture God has painted for us because we're always standing on the canvas. And I look at it that way, that we can't see the big thing. Even I can't see it. And
I know, right? Yeah. It's a faith walk. I mean, it really is, one step at a time. Now it's telling me to end the broadcast. I have no idea what's happening here, folks. But you know what? Next time, maybe I can ask Robert to join us again at some point where we have a smooth broadcast the whole way through. So we're going to keep going till we don't. Yeah, exactly. I love that. And, I think it's really getting clear and saying yes, like I was talking to you before the broadcast about how a lot of us are playing a much smaller game than we're here to play. But we want to be humble and, we don't want to offend anybody or whatever. No, if you're playing a small game, say yes to a bigger game. And if you don't know where you're going, say yes anyway and jump in and let God do it, do whatever's going to happen. I mean, that's kind of where I'm going next too. And I know you've been doing that and look what's opening up for you. It's just craziness.
Yeah, when you get off course, just like that GPS, it'll steer you back to the road. So we will take detours or you get the roundabout scenic route or whatever it is. You'll eventually get there.
I've seen it all.
Moving forward, that's the beauty of life. You have to go forward with it.
Yeah. Can you share with us some more of the decodes? I know you gave us that one example, but like I said, for all the people that are on here, there may be people that are depressed. There may be people that are financially struggling right now. There may be people in all kinds of places. Anything that you're feeling led to share that might open some things up for some people?
I like the 3 decodes in this one chapter, and it's got the reflection, which I talked about, but release. It's letting go of things that don't serve you. And, your heart has all the permission it will ever need to release anything that no longer serves it. You just need to give yourself that permission for your heart. And then there's renewal. And never be afraid to grow in a new direction. Every form of plant life and everything on this planet reaches up for the light. They grow. And even after a long winter or a bad storm, life comes back to areas that have been devastated. It's a cycle. And if that's the case, then we're all part of that. And that's how we also need to be. And take a hint from that, because that's the way life is.
Take a hint? Come on. We see stuff every day, right? And we're like, nah, that's not it. I know. So I love that. Can you share a little bit about too? I know we only have a little bit of time left, but and also I want you to share with people. I did put a link where they can go to find your information, get your book, and all that kind of stuff, because I think the book is like a Bible. Like you can really literally read it every day.
I put it on sale, and I'm just going to keep it at 99 cents for the ebook, just because.
Get out of here.
I just want as many people to get this. It's not my information. I'm not here. to sell. It's
Yeah.
just, I want people to heal.
Yes.
And that's
Yes. And for 99 cents, people, come on, really. I mean,
donate,
that's a steal.
and the reason for that is I also donate a lot of the
You
income
do.
to help others, and that's
You do.
so.
It's so beautiful. So can you share a little bit about your journey, about maybe what's coming up for you? I know you can't share all of it, but
I don't know. I mean, I feel that it's guiding that I'm supposed to step onto bigger stages and feel
yeah.
guided in that direction. And I have no idea what that means. And I do have some upcoming television appearances on some bigger shows that are sort of hinting in the works right now. So
yeah, I know you got juicy stuff in the works. I know we can't share all of it. I know.
I have potential dates, but I've been in touch with a few producers and things, and I don't know. There's and it's really, it's the challenge of doing this. It's not that, I set out to go, okay, I want to, be on TV and do these things and share this. I mean, I kept it a secret for 30 years. So that's not,
I know, right? Yeah.
But it's the courage to do it because it needs to be done. And especially in the world today, I just feel guided that, you can feel so stressed with all the news and the information that keeps coming at us. And that's why I decided to put a positive message out and trust. And, I believe in 99.999% of the people on this planet are absolutely amazing. And don't let just a few ruin all of this beauty that we have in the world.
And I love that, Robert, because it's really bringing it back again. That's why, even in my business, I'm like, let's get back to the foundation. Like, you can buy a million programs and get certified and do this and that and go out, it's like inside here, go in here. I know it sounds so simple. People are like, that's so Pollyannish. Well, it is what it is. I mean, if you don't know you and you're not connected to spirit, I'm not religious either. I've done it all, but I mean, I have a really amazing relationship with spirit, and we go where we're led. If you're listening, you get the next piece and the next piece and the next piece, right? Yeah. And I also love that your journey is, one of, again, saying yes. I'm here to serve. I'm surrendering. I'm allowing whatever's going to happen. Just use me. I always remember when I used to see Marianne Williamson, at the in LA. She'd always say that, just use me. That was her prayer every morning. Use me. And because of that, look at what's opening for you. And you're in a space of humility. I mean, a lot of us worry about being big-headed or whatever, and that happens to some people. But I think people that really have a heart to serve, they can stay in that space.
Good quotes around that too. I always have
my. You do.
Just because you're light, your name is in lights, doesn't mean you're any more enlightened than the bulbs. Those who keep company with their ego only have one best friend.
Wow! Bring it.
I get there's words for everything that I get. It just comes through, and I see photos of everything. So, for instance, this one: when you're mired in the shadows of despair, know that there's always a higher light source behind any darkness. You just need to turn around to see it. And then I get this lexicon of information behind that. And when I really thought about it logically, because I have that strong logic side, that all shadows are created by light. It's physically impossible to create a shadow without light.
That's true.
So therefore, what's everything else? It's light. So when you are in that kind of dark place, you need to either step out of it or turn around to see where you need to go and change your perspective. And that's the beauty of that model and seeing that. And I can see this, the image of this person hunched over in a shadow in this despair. And letting go of grief is not letting go of a loved one. It's creating room in your heart for the love that you have for them. And when you have that great amount of grief, then you must have a big heart. And it needs to be filled with that love so you can share with others. And when you're able to take that grief, because, if you're that much grief, I know inside you have that amount of love. And just think of, you can't have one without the other.
Right.
So that's the beauty of it. Turn the grief into love, because that's what it is. If you look, that's the shadow. Grief is the shadow. Love is the light that surrounds it.
The shadow side. Yeah. And this is such a incredible journey. I love having this conversation with you because you're bringing a lot of things to mind for me. But, the fact that we already are love. I mean, people, again, it's that human aspect of us, but we are love. I mean, like, there's nothing apart from this experience that isn't love. Now, a
Right.
lot of people would disagree with me on that, with what's going on in the world. And I don't bury my head in the sand, but I don't get into those
Well, you
conversations.
understand, they think earthly love. And I think
Right.
the picture of how we're held in that love. And it's a different level when you can look at it outside of that. It's not that, I got hurt, my heart was broken. And then I have metaphors for that. You can't,
Come on.
when you have a broken heart, it creates the cracks. It's the only way the light can get in. Is you have to have it open. And I don't thank people from the bottom of my heart. I can only thank them with all of it, because I've never reached the bottom. Our hearts are bottomless as far as the amount of space. And love is this gift that you never run out of. You can continue to give it all away and you will never run out of it. In fact, you probably get 10 times the amount back. So the more that you put out, the more it just comes right back to you. It's all about those intentions. And I do this thing, and I haven't really talked about this much, but write a letter, struggling on something, write a letter to your guardian angel. And I do this little experiment, and I say, dear guardian angel, please do X, whatever it is, so that this may be cleared from my path so I can better serve you and the big picture. And whatever that is, you may not get what you ask for, but you certainly receive what you need. And always sign it for the good of all concerned. And I've told people this, and that's how you manifest. As soon as you write it and make the intention by bringing it here. And I even find that beyond writing the words, because Richard Branson, great business person, will write his goals down with a pen and paper because he has to see them and he has to be creative with his own hand. If you draw a picture of it, it's even more powerful because you're opening up the visual of that. And you can create by bringing that in and that manifestation. So whatever it is that you need brought into your life to clear. So instead of making that kind of intention where, okay, I need $1 million,
right,
you need your financial situation stabilized so that it's not a distraction, so that you can move forward with your life.
Oh God, I love that. No, that even shifted my perception as you said it. That's huge for everybody. Can you say that again for everybody who's on here? I know there are going to be more people watching this later. Yeah, I know it.
Setting the intention so that you can clear things out of your path so they're not a distraction from what you're put here to do. And each of us have a unique path. And we need to find that path. And when you can ask for help, angels are guides. It's up to us. We're the boots on the ground. We are the ones that we have free will. We can choose to or not to. Yeah. But when you set the intention and you say, I'm going to do this with all of my heart, if you can just take care of these things so that my family's not stressed, so this is going on so that I can take care of these things, I will do it. And I started walking that path quite a few years ago. And it's not easy to do.
No.
And I'm not saying let go and just, hopefully, it'll all provide. It'll just drop down from heaven. But
oftentimes I think it's there. We just don't see it. We're looking someplace else.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's funny because I love that you're bringing in the angels again. I keep saying angels are real. Like I just reestablished my relationship with my angels. I started doing readings every day, they're so profound. Like when you really commit to it and you ask them to come in and help and assist, they do. They really direct and guide you. And you probably didn't see it, but I've been getting I'll turn around. I'll be out of my car for 5 minutes, and I'll come in and I'll come back to the car, and there's a feather that's this big that's stuck to the door. Or the other day I was cleaning my room, right? And I looked down on the rug and I see this thing that looks like a piece of fuzz. Or something.
For no apparent reason, when I was coming out of my office, there was a little feather sitting on the floor, and I have no idea where it came from.
There were no birds in my room, no socks, no shoes, and a tiny little feather. And I started to cry. Yeah.
At work.
Oh my God, right? And I have to send you a picture. Do you know Debbie Silber? She's a really good friend of mine. She's done some TEDx and stuff. Anyway, she went to Sedona not too long ago, and she saw my post about the feather. I have to send you the picture when we're off of here. I'm going to send it to you. She said, well, you'll love the sign that I got. Literally, it's a picture of a cloud in the shape of a feather. It's so distinct. And I just sat there and I just felt the energy of it, and I started to cry. So, we feel like we have no assistance. That's why we're always reaching outside of ourselves. And, you can't see angels. I mean, you can see, You can tell that they're by the feathers and stuff, right?
Right.
Can you share a little bit about that? Because I know we've got to go soon, but can you share a little bit about how people can actually look for signs that they're, they're being answered, they're being supported, because again, you're dealing with the unseen realm, and that's really hard.
I'm a realist, so I just kind of go about my day, but you'll see signs, when people say, I can't connect to so-and-so who passed away. I can't speak to them anymore. You can. They don't answer me. Well, you're not listening. And they leave little signs, like you'll see things. And my brother, his daughter passed away. She was 19 in her second semester at college. Devastating to our family. And as kids, we always wanted to walk on, and hike the Appalachian Trail, the whole thing. That was his dream. I mean, he read this book, My Side of the Mountain. He's an outdoors person. So I booked this trip to hike the White Mountains of New Hampshire on the Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
And when we walked in, I said, this is where your daughter is. She's here in nature. And you need to find her, and she will send you a sign when you're there. So we got to the top of the fourth peak, and this was 22 miles, 5,000 feet of climbing. My legs were jello. Up this mountain above the tree line, there's this little tiny flower. It was about maybe a half a centimeter across at the top, just growing there. And we looked down and smiled. And the next day we were in one of the national parks, and this girl walked past us, and I feel his hand go on my shoulder. My brother's pointing at her. From behind, it looked like his daughter, and she had the same backpack.
Oh my gosh, that's well, if that isn't a sign.
And I just looked up at him and I said, there's your message. Yeah. So believe it, because she's around you. She's, you celebrate in the everywhereness of everyone, because my logic side says all the elements in the universe have always been here, always were here, and always will be here. And we're part of that. So therefore, we are too.
Yeah, I love that.
One way or another, we're always here.
Yeah, I love that. And I love your message so much, because again, it's back to the foundation. Forget all the other stuff, really bringing everything from without and bringing it within. And that's where the answers lie. Robert, God, I just want to talk to you forever. Can you just sum up again, if there's anything that you'd like to share with everybody who's here and the ones that are to come? Because I know people, when they get home from work, they're going to want to watch this. So I'm going to promote it. But anything that's on your heart.
Yeah, anyone who's struggling out there, even the sun has to face dark days, but it still has to shine. It has to rise every day. That's the key. Get up, get out there, and try to shine in some way. And I know it's hard. And I know the things that I've heard people are going through, and I've gone through them too. You've lost a friend, a family member, your parents, there's devastating things, or you're struggling through this. All storms pass. They all pass. And I'm glad I didn't give up when I was struggling. And I had to have a divine intervention for that to happen. So I never felt worthy of it. But I know that there is help, and there's people. Just reach out to your friends. They're there, your family. Everyone cares. We all have this inside, and don't be afraid of that. And as a martial artist, I know that when there's pain involved, we retract. We want to go away from the pain. The body will go away from it. Yeah. So when you're around somebody that's struggling, we're taught in martial arts, when we're creating the pain, to go into it, because that's how you get rid of it. So when somebody's struggling around you, go into it, reach out. Sometimes it's just an ear, just lending an ear to listen to them, so that they can share what's in their heart. And that's probably the biggest difference, maker in the world right there, is just being there for somebody else, just being present. Yes. And your presence is the present. So, can't go with a great gift.
I love that. Thank you. That's so beautiful. Yeah, allowing people to be safe. And, I have to go there more often too, because I get into the coaching mode. It's like not everybody wants to be coached, so you have to be safe to share what's going on for us. So thank you. That's beautiful. And you want to let everybody know, I posted it, but again, where they can find all your stuff and read all about you and get all your books and all your juicy yumminess. And do you keep track on your website of like what's coming up for people, events, speaking engagements, etc.?
Yeah, I've just launched the new website. I've added some videos up there. I have a whole series of inspirational videos I'm putting out. I've already recorded them all, and there's 2 of them up there. One is Angelic Love, and Life Storms is the other one on the videos page. And then I have it's guidetothesoul.com is the website. You go to facebook.com/guide to the soul. I have a lot of inspirational things up there. If you read too many of them, you're going to overdose on love, and I'm not. That's my disclaimer. I'm just putting that out there now. And just bring what's inside you. It has to be brought out to the light, because that is the light. And just do that. And I'd love to hear I do read all the comments on my page, so I love hearing from everyone. And if I've touched you in some way today, I would be absolutely honored to know that.
You always touch me. Oh my God. I love being in your energy so much. And I love watching your journey, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds, where it's going. And, and I'm actually following you. It's like, again, if you're playing a small game, peeps, and nothing's happening for you, you're not going in the right direction. Listen to where you get to go next, whether you're scared or not, like you had said, into the pain, into the fear, we walk into it and we just say yes anyway. So it was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for taking time to be here in the midst of all the crazy broadcasting stuff. Maybe we can do it again sometime, and it'll be a little bit more smooth, but just wonderful to see your face and be in your energy. And I support you fully in your journey. And I'm so honored and blessed that you stepped into what you're here to do, so that you can make a huge difference on the planet. I really am.
So much. And we'll be in touch, and
we will
from this. So
and we'll share all this out, and because people need to see this, and it's really important. I love you so much. And again, I know. We'll talk. Okay. All right. I am now ending the broadcast for real. It didn't end on us, so that's good. All right. Sending you so much love. Thanks again, Robert. Bye, guys. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.